Hi everyone, this is just trying to play it, and we are back with Junkyard Builder. Now, the last time it told us to put together the plastic baler, and we did that, so you don't see that up there in the main task anymore. So, what we have now is we have to just basically create a plastic baler. We've already done our paper one over here, plastic one over there, paper or plastic, you know how. Anyway, um, this is the plastic baler, and it's going to require 80 pounds of plastic. Now, I want to take a moment and just say, yes, you could search through these. I could search through all of these to try and hope and find something that's a little more uh, valuable, so to speak. So, what I've been noticing is you don't get money in these a lot. Um, I mean, it takes a minute. So, what I've been doing is just trying to, I guess you can call it, get more bang for my buck, so to speak. No, these don't cost anything because we find them laying around and stuff like that. But if you think about it, for every time that you don't get any money out of here, you basically lost the ability to get something else. Now, yes, you can get $100, $200, $300, whatever the case is. But finding that, I think the luck value is so low that I don't risk it. At least I don't. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I don't risk it in this scenario. So I'm looking at 20 pounds of plastic. I can get $10 for that if I put it in the little waste bins over there. Problem with that is that's not a lot. So it will take us four of these to get a plastic bale. Now, I believe these bales, once we do it, I don't remember how much that last bale, the paper bale was, but I believe each bale is 100. I don't think they're 120. I don't think they're 300. I think they're 120. But the plastic ones might be more. I don't know. I don't remember because, as you know, I do play this on my own, but I didn't look at all that. On my own gameplay, I do what I want to do anytime, any place, whatever. Sometimes I don't think it through, and I admit that because I'm just there to have fun. But other times I will. I don't have enough to do a paper bale. I could just put these in though, but I don't know if I'm gonna find anything else. Another thing is I want to try and get an idea of where I'm gonna put stuff. Cause I did, like I said before, I think most people who play this now have played this before. So they know, um, obviously if you go through this sort of thing, you can see what's coming up, what's not coming up. Obviously there's going to be something where you can break down your metal, something. I mean, we have a metal block over here. This metal block is 120 pounds. So it's telling me that for every 120 pounds I have, it's going to be worth 100 if I throw it in there. So it's giving me an idea of, is it better for me to put it over there or is it better for me to scrap it? And in this case, it's going to be better for me to melt it down or whatever the case is. Same with the wood. All of these lovely bags are going to eventually become very good money. And the same with all of this stuff. All of this stuff is going to have a place, um, like this right here. The wood is telling me that I should break it down, but because I don't have a means to do so right now, I can't turn. I can turn this into some sort of money. A little more effort, obviously. All of this wood, same thing. More of these bags. I just love seeing these black bags, to be honest with you, because, having played this game, we all know, how much those could potentially be later on. So I am excited about this. But like I said before, the idea is I'm trying to figure out where to keep stuff. Where do I put things? Where do I, store certain items? Do I bring my cars back here or do I put them up there? Uh, I really don't know. I really don't know. I guess I'll just keep playing until I make that decision, but I honestly don't know what to do with them. I know I want my metal in the front. Uh, I mean, technically, you could have everything in the front because that's almost where everything comes in at. But if you were to buy things on the market, you would have things in the back as well because the only way to take them out is to, unload them from your market, from your warehouse, and everything unloads right here. So I don't know, that's another thing. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit this over here. It is dark. We're gonna go and sit this stuff in the front. Is that one? Can that one fit? No, that's 18. That's 18. That's 20. Yeah, none of these are gonna fit. So we're gonna put all this to the front, and then we're going to. I don't even know where to put it. I'm gonna sit it over here for now because there's nothing over here right now. Oh, no room. Put all that over there. Okay, so we're gonna leave this here. I'm going to. Did we do a bale? Let's wait on the bale. Even though it's dark, I understand. But we're gonna wait on this bale first, and then we'll see what else it has us do. Probably, another contract or something. Another license or something like that, I believe. But we might as well set at least these bags in here because I know I'm going to do that much. And then I just need 20. Yeah, I've only got 18 over here. I'm gonna need two more. Okay, so the plastic bale is 60 pounds. The bale is 75 bucks. Okay, now that right there tells me what I need to know. For every 60 pounds, I am going to be able to get 75 if I put it in here. So as I'm looking at these over here, it would have been 30. So yeah, we're more than doubling our money, which I think makes sense. And I mean, I think it's a no-brainer to be honest with you. I really do. So we're going to go accordingly, and we're just going to do the things that we feel are the best. Oh, yeah. See, that's upside down. But I know if we were to build this, obviously it'll be more. This can't go on anything. That can. Yeah. So let's do that. And then what I was saying earlier was if you just come in here and look at all of the different vehicles and stuff. So we've already got this scrap cart. There's a flatbed. Then there's a truck. We've already done all of this. The only things that are left are the machines. So they tell you what machines are coming up and when. So it's not like you can say, "Oh, I wonder if we're going to get one of these or one of those." Yes, you are. So we've got the wood shredder, which is next, which is in level 5. We're already level 4, so we're close. We've got the garbage incinerator, which is level 6. Scrap press, level 7. That's your metal. The garbage is those black bags, right? And then we got the melting pot, which is another, thing that we can do with the scrap metal. So there's another level to that. Now, these don't have another level, which they may be working on putting them in later. I don't know. Which would be great if you can then shred the wood into bales and then take that wood and take those bales and turn them into something else. I don't know. But obviously, there are licenses for all of these things. As you can see here, it's telling you what's in it. So it's not like we have to sit up here and, it's not like we have to sit up here and guess. Level 5 is the wood thing, and then we've got the scrap block and the smelted block. Now, obviously, the smelted block. I think the key here, for me anyway, is to use as little resources as possible to make the things that we're making. So, for example, paper bale here. This will make it so that I don't need 60 pounds, I need 50 pounds. And then I'll go down to 40. The plastic does the same. Instead of 80 pounds, I go down to 60 pounds. So what that does, you just may say, oh, that's really not that big of a deal. Well, it kind of is because Go from needing 4 of these bags for plastic to needing 3 of those bags for plastic. So for every, what is that? For every 3 that you normally do, which would have been 12 bags, you could have done 4. It nets you another $100, $75, whatever it is. It nets you another 75 bucks. So it actually stretches your money, but it does cost you a little bit to do that. So you've got to decide, is it worth it? That's the key. Is it worth it? And that's what it is with this entire game. You've got to make decisions as to whether or not something is worth doing or not. Okay, so now it wants us to buy the flatbed. I don't believe we can afford that, obviously. We still are, we're a little ways away. Um, I was thinking of possibly upgrading the cargo, the little cart that we have. We're already at 200. It can go max 400. Is that worth it? I want to say it might be. I hate to spend money on something though and then turn around and say, oh, I could have used that money towards something else. But this extra 100 pounds will probably help us get a lot more in the long run. I may not go all the way up to level 3, but I think level 2 is definitely a doable thing, especially since we're going to be using that cart within here. So as we're looking around here, we're going to be using that cart to move this stuff around. So I think, that cart is well worth it. So okay, do we start by straightening up everything here? No, I don't think we do. Now on the other hand, also, do I need to put these toward the front? That might be a thing too. We might need to put these toward the front. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know. Oh, let's look at I didn't look at what contract was available. So let's take a look at the contracts real quick. And let's see what we have. We have this one. Now, I'm not one to nitpick about how much stuff is, but I do believe that's not a very good contract. Now, don't get me wrong, it's probably more than what we would get because um it really takes us 60. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with you again. It really takes us 60 pounds of paper for every paper bale. So what that does is that says to me, well, 60 pounds of paper for every bale, and I do believe those bales are, I'm thinking they're 100. You know what? We're just going to go probably to the forest. We're going to wander to the forest. And our goal in the forest is we're going to look for what we can get as far as paper and plastic are concerned because those are the things we can do. Now, in the process, if we see anything else that's probably lucrative, we're going to grab it, but we're going to fill up pretty quick. Consider we only have 300 pounds that we can put in there. Now, see, normally if I've got enough space, I would grab these two because they'll all scrap pretty well. But I'm not going to do it. Okay. This right here is always a good choice. Those fire extinguishers, I mean, I love them, you know. And I always try to move stuff out of the way because sometimes they try to hide money and stuff under here. But those fire extinguishers, we've already paid for us coming here. So the fire extinguishers are 75 each. I've got 2 of them already. So we've already paid for everything. Now, what is it that I can't seem to find that much of? And that's paper. So I am going to try to load up on some paper. I'll go ahead and get this little plastic. It's sitting by itself. But before I do, even though I have enough space, we're going to go over here and see what we might be missing because we're grabbing all of that stuff. There's usually stuff over here that's decent, but it's not worth it considering. Over here is a lot of paper and plastic and regular bags, and the same over here. Okay. So I think what we're going to do is the mixed stuff will open. No, no. Normally, if you have enough room, I would encourage you to take everything. Um, I really would. It's not. I think some people are afraid they're gonna be hoarding on here. It's borderline hoarding. I'm not gonna say that it is or isn't, but the reason why I say take everything is because a lot of this stuff is useful later, and it helps you get to certain goals a lot quicker. Now there's a four. I'm gonna take that. It helps you get to certain goals a lot quicker. Now that I could come back here and get the rest of this stuff, which I might. But the black bags I'm gonna still open up. Now, is there enough for 300 pounds of stuff? Let's see, that's one, two. There's two bags there. Four, six, eight, nine. 10, 11, 12 bags right there. Okay, so that's 12 bags. That's already a decent amount. That's already over 200 and something pounds. So it is probably worth it to come back and get these bags because there's still some stuff over here as well. So we're going to go dump all this and then we're going to come back because we have plenty of time. It's almost 12 noon. So we're going to come back. I should have unloaded everything first probably. But I am going to unload here. I got out of it. Sorry. We're going to unload all of that and we're going to go back. Now, I probably didn't do that the right way. But you know what? At this point, I'll make that $100 back pretty quick. So I'm not going to worry about it, but I probably didn't do it the right way. So we're going to collect all of these. Okay. Yeah, we're going to collect all of these. And we should have more than enough over here. I think I counted 12 or so bags over here. Let's go all the way over here first and get these. And work our way back. I don't like going over that thing, but I could have just put everything in and ran over. I know, but I didn't. I've got room for 10 more bags. So we should be fine. We should be fine. And there we have it. Now we're good to go. And we swing on up here. And I'm probably taking the long way with all of this. I understand that. Yeah, I don't think I could have unloaded all of it. Yeah. So I probably did it the right way. I don't know. But anyhow, what I'm thinking of doing also is moving all of the scrap things over here. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to move all these scrap things over. And I think I am going to make it so that we're using less resources on those two. Now, I could just wait until we had so much money, or whatever the case is, until we just started making a lot of money and then improving all that. But I think that I need to probably improve that sooner rather than later. All of these black bags are going to come back and help us tremendously, I think, if we prep for them. Because if you look at all these black bags right now, each one of these, the incinerator, I forgot what it starts at, but I think in the last time I played, before I came back to this game, I believe we could get $100 or so per bag. I think that's as far as I went. Now, whether or not we can get more than that, I don't know. I believe we can, but why am I moving that one first? I want to move these. I believe we can, but it just made sense to me to save those for later. Yes, we could probably find money in them, but they'll be worth more to us, I believe, later on. And I'm going to put these here because, see, this makes sense. We've got the dump section here where all of the stuff out of the dumpster comes. If we don't want anything right away, we can toss it. And then everything else that's left, we go take it to wherever it belongs to. Because to me, that's our processing section. I guess that makes sense. I don't freaking know. It makes sense to me, but I mean, that's not saying too much, though, is it? No, it is not. We're going to go ahead and do it the way we think is best. And I think that's what you have, you have to do. Excuse me, I had the hiccups. I think that's what you have to do. You play it the way you see fit. If anyone has any other suggestions, they will tell me in the comments. And I know they will, because people love trying to tell you what to do and that you're doing things wrong and there's a better way to do stuff. And they always have these helpful hints. So I'm pretty sure someone will correct me if I am doing anything wrong or out of the ordinary or just plain stupid. Okay, I'm going to start with these three. I have the fire extinguisher here. That's good money. And this one here. And then I believe everything else are associated with these bags over here. So I am going to go over here, dump all of those off. And let's see if I have any money to upgrade one of these yet. I might start with the. Oh, can't do that. Nope, don't have any money to upgrade any of that stuff yet. What can we upgrade? Let's just think about that. I don't care about the garbage and those things. We're almost ready to upgrade that. You know what I'm saying? So we're close. We're close. There's a couple of things. We can't even do that. Yeah, we ain't got no money. We ain't got no money. We can upgrade that later. Yeah, see, all of this I will upgrade later. What about the contracts? I would like to have more than one contract available to me. But then again, I think it's really just about, yeah, see, that's 75 bucks for 60 pounds. So instead of $40 that I could have gotten for this, I'm getting 75. That's not bad. Instead of $30 I could have gotten for this, I'm getting $75. It's not bad. Wait. Yep, that's right. I had to make sure that I only needed 20 pounds for that because I forgot I didn't put those little things in. Okay, so we're going to separate these. Keep you guys over here ish. And just bam, there we go. I left all of this space here because sometimes I'm going to drive the carts through there. So, just because. And I need maneuvering space. I don't want to have to go all the way around and kind of block myself in, which is always possible. I could always block myself in. Okay, the plastic compression is finished again. So right now we're going to make do with what we have, and we're going to use this. I think I might get the contract so I can use the contract to upgrade these things. But that contract is only like 1100. Let's go take a look. I forgot already. I believe it was only like 1100 and some change. The one thing though that does not change is how much the furniture is, how much the and how much the other stuff is, like the cars, the furniture, anything that you sell on the market. So yeah, 9 of these for 1022. It's not that bad because it will require us to use 27, I want to say, because it takes us 3 per paper bale. So it's going to take us 27 of the bags or equivalent to get this. And those would have been $270. So yeah, we would have made a nice little amount. But those 27 bags, if we put them into the paper baler, would have gotten us $900. So we're making another 122, which is fine because it's more than what we would have made. I just don't like it. I really don't. But you know what? I'm going to take it for now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get the license for plastic. And there we have it. So we're going to get some of those probably tomorrow. I've cleaned out everything here that I can clean. See this right here, all of this stuff that was in here was a gold bar. Oh my God, that was some good money. Now this wood and stuff, I'm not gonna mess with it. I don't even know where I'm gonna put it. I do want to put this together, I think. So I'm gonna take this over here. It should be completely stripped of everything. These take a while. They take your time. They take effort. And the reason why I don't like doing this as much is because of that. Because sometimes you want to get to something really, really quick, right? You want to hurry up and get to this. You want to hurry up and get to that. This is where the real money is. Or let's hurry up and get to this because I really want to see it. And you got to stop yourself, because anything worth having is, it takes time. It takes effort. And I think in this case, we're playing a video game. It's like, why do you keep trying to put life lessons in freaking video games? We're trying to have fun. We're trying to get away from reality. But it's the way of life, unfortunately. You use the skills that you think you have in real life on these video games. Or you learn new skills. That's always a fun thing for me. Learning these new skills and stuff like that is always a good thing for me. Or even realizing that I have certain skills. Sometimes people don't think they're good enough to do this or that. And then when you have something like this is simulation. So when you have a simulator and you realize that you are just as good, it makes you feel good. Now, for me, that color is a little bit too bright. I do love that color. Don't get me wrong. I do love that color. But it is a little bright. It's a little bright. Oh, that's really bright. I don't want to go crazy with this thing, and I don't want to sit up here and spend so much time picking stuff because the color doesn't matter. If the color mattered, if the color of the furniture mattered, then I would make sure to pick the right colors for it. If you got extra because you made it look unique or, whatever it is you did, if this artistry made a difference on here, then I would definitely take my time and, pick out the right thing, make the cabinets probably look a little better or, just whatever. But it's one of those things where unfortunately, in this game the color doesn't matter. So let's see, we're going to do all of this. I couldn't see it there, but I guess it let me finish it when I was doing the other stuff. So yeah, Yeah. I mean, that doesn't look bad, but I would never, ever have a cabinet or dresser or whatever in my room with this color. Number one, for me, it's too light, so it's going to show the dirt too quick. And then it's going to prompt me to have to clean. And I don't know about you, but I hate cleaning. You know, it's a necessary evil, but I hate doing it. Um, but at the same time, it's just way too bright. That's the left door. Give me no, that's another left. Give me the door. Is this the one where I did not have the right doors? No, I got a left and right. A left, right drawer. And then let's bring the doors over. Get out of here. Toss that. Toss that. Okay. These they're good money, but they're not like the best money. I'm gonna make all of these the same color. I am not gonna sit up here and jack around with colors right now. I'm not. And I'm gonna go as quick as possible. When were you? Over here. There we go. Oh, I just did almost. Oh, ah, okay. You know, we just boom, boom, boom right there. Get on there. And then quickly, boom, 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 boom. I like that it helps you finish, you know, because it does not. Um, Sometimes these things can take a long time. And the big part of it is what takes a long time, like the cabinet base and stuff like that. The, all that stuff really don't take as much time. It's very quick. The smaller pieces, even if you've got multiple pieces, they go pretty quick, as you can see. So we're gonna do this, and like I said, I might do one of each at least in this playthrough, just so I can see how much they are and if I even want to bother. On my other playthrough, I have so much junk laying around that I had decided to just chuck everything. I started scrapping everything, putting them in like the wood shredder and all that sort of thing. Metal, all that went into the machines. And I just started really doing contracts because I just felt like that was the way to go. You know, now whether or not that was smart to do, I don't know. But I do know it gave me some sort of satisfaction because I was now cleaning stuff off of my. This is 330 bucks. I was now cleaning stuff out of, the. Oh, I got other stuff in here to sell too. We're just gonna sell it all at once then. There we go. But I started getting stuff off the ground and just being able to move around like in here. This is such open space. It makes me feel good. I got plans for what else I can put in here. But then when I go out here, it's open space back here too. So I'm like, oh yeah, that makes me feel great. But then you go over here, the same thing. But then if I go toward the front, like right here, it's like, oh my God, there's so much stuff. And then you try sometimes, and I don't know, how many people do this or not. But you say to yourself, you say, well, I'm going to clean this stuff up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you intend to, but every time you go and you look at it and stuff like that, it gets a little overwhelming. And you say, well, I'm going to clean this first and then I'll get back to that. And you never get back to it. Or by the time you get back to it, it's a whole mess. And you just don't want to do it. And I think that's what it comes down to. Most times you just don't want to do it. And when you don't want to do something, you find ways not to do it. Trust me when I tell you. So paper can go from 60 to 40. The plastic will go from 80 to 60. I wonder why they made the plastic higher. I don't know. Like the requirements to make a bale higher. I have no idea. No idea. But so the paper bale is 60. Oh, I thought, you know what? I think as we improve, yeah, I think as you improve this, I think it makes a difference. So for every, so we're doing just 1-to-1 ratio with this then. No, we're doing double. So $30. Yeah, 'cause it's $10 each for the yeah, for that, and $10 each for that. So $30 here is getting us $60 here. So we're doubling our money is what it is. Over here, $40. Yeah, $40 is getting us 75. That's what it is. Yeah, so my calculations earlier was wrong, but you get the idea. Um, but that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to say that this is not worth it. It's still a take us. So it'll still take us 27 bags to get the 9 bales that we want. But now the 9 bales are actually only worth 540. So the 1100 and some odd dollars is more than double. So we've now kind of, in essence, quadrupled our money, which I would do that all day. But it will take time, and I think that's what it is. It's going to take time. Sometimes we feel like we don't have the time, but we do. We most certainly do. Now, here, this is already double. So I'm tossing it. Now, it's only a few dollars. Don't go crazy. It's only a few bucks. So I say that because it's not like it's going to make or break you. And even if you don't do that and you put it through, the machine, it's not going to make or break you. It really isn't. It's like things like this. Like this is metal. This metal spray can. It's already two and a half times. I'm tossing it in. If I don't do that, am I gonna hurt for it? No. But right now I don't even have the metal shredder or metal crusher or anything like that. So what does it matter? Oh, that's a blue. I think I had a blue dresser over there. Oh, I don't think. Oh, I don't know. There's so many things that we have. So many things. I don't know. I probably don't. No, that's a blue pine, not a blue grain. Yeah, I was hoping, but see now, as you can see here, we only need one. Like you can set it up, out right into the wall. You can set it here, and it's showing you only need one. So you've got a blue grain dresser drawer. Each one of these is already over one, times it. The base is not, but total for this right now is 70. If we take this out, 55. Take that out, 40. So right now, at its script value, it's 50 cents on the dollar, basically. Okay. These right here are a little bit over one. But if we put them in, you see the difference there. So now, instead of the 45 or whatever dollars, 50 bucks, whatever it was, $40, it's now worth 70. Now, does that make a big difference? No. I don't know what'll happen if we put it in the other one, but I'm curious. That's why I do that, because I'm curious of a lot of that stuff. Now, are we going to hold on to these things all the time? No. No, 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 no. Because we ain't got that kind of time. But we will, I think, put together as many of the cars. Some of the dressers, those do take a while. Like I said, they take a minute. They take a hot minute for us to, get those things ready and, paint them and clean them and all that stuff. It's time. So the idea is, how do you want to spend your time here? Are you just trying to make money and hurry up and do what the tutorial tells you, or are you just trying to enjoy the game as well? I, for one, am trying to enjoy the game. Oh, for God's sake. There we go. That's damn near perfect placement. I hate to say it. But, and you may be saying, well, why are you doing plastic if you don't have, because you want to get rid of this stuff? You know, you still want to produce, it's like you're running your own little factory. Okay. And even though you may not have any orders for it, you might want to do a few just in case you get some orders. It's like I don't want to keep just doing stuff whenever I see, okay, we have an order for this or whatever. So we're always, in this case, we're always going to have orders. Whether or not we take them is up to us. But at the same time, we can always have maybe some stock that we can use. We've only got two of those ready. We've got four of these ready. So when we do see an order for plastic, maybe we go ahead and grab it. Oh yeah, that's good. We gotta take that in. Take that in. Now this wardrobe, you completely stripped. We're gonna take you with us. And that. And that. That'll, that's a different kind of thing. We've got room to take these back there too. We're gonna leave the metal. Somewhere up here, I'm gonna have the metal press. Somewhere in this area. I don't know where though. But I don't want to keep moving the metal. Alright, well, we're going to take these back here. Bags are these. Oh, still more mix. I love seeing the black bags. Because you just know that it's going to be so much later on. Now, the question could be, though, well, why don't you, because you're going to see a lot of those as you're playing, why don't you use those now and then worry about the others later? That would be a very good argument. That would be a very good argument. But another reason why I say that I don't do that is because there are other things we can use to get us to that point. And you may be saying, yeah, but that other stuff is, consuming. Yes, it is. It most certainly is. Like fixing up a car could be time consuming. Um, but we've got parts. I mean, we may not have a lot of parts for that car, but we have some. Which one is this? This is the Rosewick. This is the medium dresser. And it looks like we have. Ooh. We got the left drawer, left drawer, left drawer, right. So we have a right and left drawer. We have a right and left door. How many does this freaking thing take? I think that's it. We'll probably do this one next because I really do want to see. It starts off at a 30 base. And even this one is upside down. Okay. We might do that one next just to see what we can get from it. But like this dresser here, we're gonna leave it over here. Dark. I do hate when it's dark because it kind of takes away from your play. But then again, I'm not gonna complain too much because I do like the day and night cycle. But then again, I don't remember if there was a day and night cycle. I don't think there was on the other one. This one kind of helps because the day and night cycle helps you refresh. So I do like that. Okay, so let's get this done. And the thing is, at night you can hardly see what you're doing. I can see just so much of it, but I can also see the progress at the bottom. So I don't know if that was a feature before, but I'm glad that it is now. I mean, I can always maneuver this thing so that I can see everything, but I don't know. It's a little rough doing the base of these in the dark. You can hardly see where you are, what you're doing, but you can see, as much as possible. You can see how clean it is at the bottom. So I'm not gonna complain too much because it does tell you enough. Okay, that's done. Flip it. And with this one, I'll do a different color only because I want to be able to see. But normally I wouldn't. Everything will be the same color. You may be like, oh, that's lazy and everything. Yeah, yeah, it is. It most certainly is. But like I said, there's no benefit of making these things different colors or even trying to beautify it. Because, first of all, I'm not keeping it. It's not going to be displayed in here. It's not going to be something that, is the longevity of this thing is not that long because it's about to get sold as soon as we're done with it. So that's one of the reasons, too. But yes, your customers deserve to have the best product, and I agree with that. But your customers are not purposely asking for certain colors. Now, if they decide to add that in here, oh, I will most certainly take my time and do that. But they're not doing that, right now. So my customers, whomever they are, because I'm the only one here in this freaking junkyard, okay? But my customers are not asking for anything specific. So I will give them what they get. And I think for the most part, like I said, it don't matter what the color is because it's not giving us any extra abilities. It's not giving us any extra money. The customers don't have a preference on here. At least, we don't know about it. So that's the thing. But yeah, normally, I mean, if I'm doing this, like, let's say you had this kind of thing in real life where you were refurbishing furniture and stuff. Of course, you would take time to make it look good. You have to because people are gonna buy it based on what they see. If it appeals to their eye, they'll say, "Ooh, that might look good in this room, or that might look good in that room," and they're gonna buy it accordingly. But on this game, those are not factors. Now, if the developers happen to look across my video, I would love to see something like that incorporated in here, where there's certain criteria that we have to have in order for for us to get an extra 50% or whatever. And maybe the contracts is for furniture. Maybe you add a furniture contract in there. And now, instead of us just scrapping all that stuff, we'll save it and try to fulfill the furniture contract. That's just my opinion, though. You don't have to. 210. See, that's not bad. That's 1.5 times what the base. So it's $1.50 per pound of wood. Not bad per se, but your question would be if you were to scrap the wood and put it through the wood chipper or whatever the case was, how much money would you make off of that? And is that better? And in a lot of cases it would be. So we have another 320. We'll sell all that. In the market, I look for things that, even though these are not good prices for them, you begin to understand how much each item is as far as, say, metal scrap is worth. So these are metal stoves. I believe these stoves are about 120 pounds. Now, you ask yourself, if I take 120 pounds and put it through my scrap press, how much money am I going to get for that block? Is the 120 pounds one block, or do I have to add more to that to make a block? That's what I asked myself. Now, in my playthrough that I have personally, I've upgraded a lot of stuff. So I would still buy this metal stove myself because if I remember correctly, okay, my playthrough, the metal scrap, I need 120 in order to make one block, I think. And then I need two of those blocks to make another cube. Okay, so like a square or whatever. Now, in this case, this metal block over here is 100. Yeah, it's 120 pounds of metal. The thing is, though, is how many pounds went into making this 120 pounds? Because it's upside down. And the reason why I say it's upside down is because you're talking 120 pounds of metal, 100 pound scrap block. That's upside, like, right? That's upside down. That's less than $1 each. So the question that I always ask myself is how much, and don't get me wrong, that could be overthinking it. And oh, blue pie. That's that other one. That's that other one. Blue grain. So I've got blue grain and blue pine. I've got to remember that. But it might be overthinking it, and I'm not gonna say that it's not because you may have a completely valid point that might be overthinking it. So, but you play how you want to play. You know what I'm saying? You play how you feel like you need to play the game, and what is going to give you the most joy. Now here's another paper bell one. Eight paper bell for 878. Now think about it. The last one we have was 9 for 1100. Okay, now they also take into consideration the number of days, that sort of thing. That's fine. But this one is worse than the previous one. Okay, because we've got 9 for over 1100. This one is 8 for under 900. So it makes a difference. Now this one is 14 for 1509. That may actually be decent. Now, what I do when I'm off camera on my other stuff is at night I will sit here and I will put in as much paper and stuff to fulfill these contracts at night until I run out of stuff. That's just me because I'm not filming for anyone. You know, I don't want you to be looking at the dark and be like, "Well, what are you doing? What's that? What's this?" But on that note, I am going to take a look at what we have over here, Eldorian. I did just see some things for that. This is an oak spire. This is a regular desk. It's been cleaned. Now I could just sell it, but I'm gonna wait until we get the wood thing. Now here's a metal stove. You see exactly what I'm talking about with this thing. This is a prime example. It's 240 pounds of metal for 90 bucks. Now, that may be too much metal to go into the wood press or whatever. But the question is, if I put this in there, am I gonna get $100? Now, if I do, and let's say I put this into the scrap press, I get $100. I've increased it by $10. I've gotten more than what I should get. But is that $10 worth the time that it took? Maybe, might not be. But like I said, that's up to you. We got two trunks here. Oh, that's a metal tank. You're gonna wait and be scrapped. 18, that's 50 cents a pound that'll sit over there. But that's one of the things with this game. You can do it because you're always getting stuff out of this. Trash is always coming in. You can make the trash come in quicker. You can make more trash come in. You can do all kinds of stuff. I don't think there will be a time where you won't get anything that's useful. These two are going. You can make these go quicker. You can make it use less materials, all that stuff. So that's what I'm looking at. And then what I really want to do is once we get this truck, like we're gonna get the flatbed delivery truck. Obviously that holds more than this thing, which it should, and if it don't, I, it's just ridiculous. But once we get that, we go to the scrap yard and we start looking for parts for the cars that we have here. Now, am I going to take an inventory? Probably, probably, because I need to know. But we're also trying to fulfill. We've got 5 more days to contract. I would rather fulfill it sooner than later because we can only have one contract at a time. More contracts we do, the more money we get, the more things we can upgrade, the more things we can buy. And that's the main thing, guys. The more things you can do, and the goal is to just do what you want to do. And with that note, this is just trying to play it. Guys, please subscribe if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, let me know why. Uh, leave a comment, leave a message, leave a like, dislike, whatever you want to do. That's why I do what I do. I enjoy playing games like this. I have a bunch of games that I want to play, but not enough time in the day. So this is just trying to play it, saying please stay safe, everyone.